Good evening. Happy Friday. I might release this on Saturday. I don't know. Anyway, we've got some Chillie de Castro news to cover, and I'm going to be really lazy about this particular video because, well, I can. And we're going to start off with this little video. Defendant Kevin Waldo, that's the judge in Ironton who issued the warrant, the bench warrant, and who is the judge dealing at least with the preliminary matters in Chillie de Castro's misdemeanor criminal case in Ironton. Now, there may be a completely different judge who's going to handle the actual trial. In my very limited experience, it is a different judge that handles criminal trials than handles the preliminary matters. But I don't practice law in Ohio, and it could be that Waldo would be the judge for Chillie's criminal trial. I don't know. But anyway, Chillie made a hour and 44-minute long video threatening Kevin Waldo. Boy, he's coming for you. Well, I checked the docket today in Chillie's case in Ironton, and you'll see that there is still no Waldo in here. Major Chapman was terminated, Jane Doe was terminated, City of Ironton was terminated, Lawrence County was terminated. He has, however, filed his amended complaint. Congratulations. We could check the amended complaint. If you will notice, there is no Judge Waldo listed here in the list of defendants. So Judge Waldo has not been named as a defendant. I haven't seen that Judge Waldo has been served. So anyway, the standard caveats still apply. Judicial immunity applies. I'm sure that Judge Waldo will plead judicial immunity as soon as he is served. The federal courts don't have the power to quash the warrant for Chillie's arrest in Ohio. That would be a usurpation of the powers of the state of Ohio, unless Chillie can show somehow that a constitutional right is being violated in a warrant for arrest that was issued by a judge in Ohio. And I'm not entirely sure that he can do that. No, I am never saying that he cannot. I am saying it is very unlikely that he can. Extremely unlikely that he can. So that was the easy video. Then there's this video, which it was disturbing on a lot of levels. This is on his Chillie's backup channel. Anyway, I found this part to be hilarious right here.
When I get a judgment against you, Kate, and everybody here needs to listen, all of her little trolls. When I get a judgment against you, Kate, when I get a judgment against you, you see that money right there that you raised using my name? Kate, if you can't pay me those dollars, okay, then I move for equitable relief to have your channel.
Jesus, this guy is dumb as dog shit. Okay, so he's confusing. He has filed, if you remember, he has filed a complaint that does not include anything about misappropriation of likeness or invasion of right to publicity. He has defamation against Josh Abrams. He has defamation against Kate Peter, no S. It's not Peters, although she likes to be called Kate Peters, and intentional infliction of emotional distress. And then he included punitive damages as a count. Okay, whatever. So yeah, there's no misappropriation or invasion of right to publicity in here. So he has not asked for that. He has not asked for it. And he's asked for equitable relief, but that money that Kate has raised for her defense is not it. He doesn't have a claim on that money. So what happens is this is going to go through. He says, I'm going to move for equitable relief, but so this is going to go through the court, and let's just assume, arguendo, just for grins, for the sake of argument, that Chillie wins and gets a money judgment against Kate Peters. The court's done. The court's out of it. They're like, here's your judgment. There you go. Have a great day. Now, it's up to Chillie to be able to collect that judgment. Kate Peters doesn't have to write a check. Chillie has to collect the judgment. Now, there are ways to do it. I'm not going to give Chillie any advice on how to go and collect a judgment because he is a constitutional expert, and I shouldn't have to tell him how to collect the judgment. But the court is not involved in collecting the judgment. The court may issue various applications for various writs of or wage garnishments. A writ of attachment is what they call it in California. The court may do those things. I don't know exactly how they do it in Massachusetts, and I haven't looked it up. But the court doesn't collect. So even if the court gives you, let's say, for example, a writ of attachment, then you still have to go out and do the things that you need to do to get the money, to levy a bank account, to garnish wages, whatever it is. So I don't know how he thinks that he's going to get this. And he's going to then move the court. If he can't collect on a judgment, he's going to move the court. He'd have to file a whole new suit because he's got a judgment in this theoretical, for argument purposes only world we're in, where he actually wins in this case and gets a monetary judgment. It's done. The case is done. That issue is res judicata. He can't reopen it. He can't relitigate it to get a different judgment. So no, it's his idea that all of a sudden he's going to get some sort of equitable relief that's going to specifically require YouTube, who's not a party to this, to take down Kate's channel. No. I mean, again, this is a long shot, but theoretically, it is theoretically possible that he could get some sort of injunctive relief requiring Kate Peters to not talk about him, or specifically not to say something defamatory about him. Now, that is an insane long shot. That is, I don't believe the First Circuit has dealt with that, because you got to remember, Kate Peters has a First Amendment right to speak, and any government intrusion on her First Amendment right to speak is going to be a strict scrutiny analysis. And by default, the government loses. By default, there's a presumption that any injunction on her future speech, on speech she hasn't even made yet, is presumptively a violation of the First Amendment. It's presumptively unconstitutional. So there's a general rule out there that equity doesn't lie in libel, that you can't get equitable relief for libel. Now, I don't believe that the First Circuit has dealt with it. I know California allows it in very limited circumstances. You've got to have a clear showing of where damages would not be sufficient, monetary damages wouldn't be sufficient. It's only for post-trial relief, not injunctive relief. It's like if you ask for an injunction, you prove the defamation, you may, in theory, get a permanent injunction against that person saying the specific libelous statements or the specific slanderous statements, if it's written, the specific defamatory statements, let's just go there. You may get an injunction that specific speech may, in theory, I haven't ever seen it done, but it may, in theory, that injunction may survive a constitutional analysis, a First Amendment analysis, and California's Constitution analysis. Now, what I'm trying to get at here is that The First Circuit, which would be dealing with this particular case, has not decided whether or not you can do that at this point. Whether or not post-trial permanent injunctions are something that you can get for defamation. They haven't addressed it yet. But they have gone as far as to say that you've really got to have a damn good reason. Because you got to remember, strict scrutiny analysis, the government has to have a compelling interest, and the infringement on the speech has to be narrowly tailored, the least restrictive means of achieving it. And there have to be no less restrictive alternatives available. And monetary damage is a less restrictive alternative. So it's really hard to do. And I don't know that Maine has done it. I know the California Supreme Court has said in California, which does not apply to Maine. I'm just saying that I know of this. In California, they've said it's theoretically possible. But they've never said that one survived. They just said that it's theoretically possible. So his idea that he's going to get something as broad as she has to take down her YouTube channel is ludicrous. I mean, nothing is impossible in the law, but it is so far-fetched that I wouldn't bet your money on him getting it. I would take anybody's bet that he could not get a order from the court ordering her to take down her YouTube channel. Now, could he, in theory, get one saying that she can't say anything about him? Probably not, because that would be too broad. Could she, in theory, get an injunction against her saying that she couldn't say any of the specific defamatory statements that have been found in court by a jury to be defamatory, that she could no longer say those? Well, sure, it's theoretically possible. Again, it's a long shot. To the best of my knowledge, the First Circuit hasn't allowed it yet, but it's theoretically possible. They haven't said that they wouldn't allow it, but it would have to be that narrow, that it would have to be just the specific defamatory statements that the jury has already found to be defamatory. And then, even then, if all of a sudden it becomes true, if later on, like if she said, would she say something about a pyramid scheme or something? Let's say at some point in time, Chillie gets tried and convicted of operating some Ponzi scheme. All of a sudden now the statement is true. She could then report on it. She could then talk about it. And if he tried to get her on contempt, she could say, it's true. And she could argue it then as a defense. So yeah, he doesn't have a good chance. He does not have a good shot of getting any of the injunctive relief that he thinks he does. And I also want to point out that I have never seen the man win. I have not yet seen the man win. He's talked up a big storm about how he's a constitutional scholar, et cetera, but I haven't seen him get a W yet in a courtroom. Anyway, I hate to break it to you guys, but he's not going to sue me yet, at least not at this point. So there's this one. He responded to my good job getting your client locked up, Chillie and Bobby Law. He said, "You dumb shit." He misspelled it, I guess, to get through the filters. I don't delete anybody's comments. So yeah. Deborah was never my client. She's a person I helped. How did you help her? How'd you help her? She is now currently in jail. She's no longer out on own recognizance. She's nowhere closer to getting free than she was when you started helping her. You didn't help her. You did not help her. You may have done things, but you didn't help her. Help is not the correct verb. Who do you help? Well, I help the people who watch my videos. If you're willing to listen and willing to learn, I help the people who watch my videos. If you follow the advice that I give you, your odds of getting arrested drop dramatically. Your odds of getting convicted drop even more dramatically. So, yeah, that's who I help. I help the people who watch my videos. Beta male, ugly losers like you are just, yuck. Yeah, you know, I got a good job. I got a house. I got a lovely wife. I've got dogs. I mean, like, I don't know exactly how am I losing? How am I losing? A guy who's couch surfing is calling me a loser. I have to look at you as you spew shit out of your mouth that are lies. I'm considering suing you, but there are actual people who move the needle I'm suing first. Well, I hope to eventually move your needle. You had originally set the bar at 4,000 subscribers. I have passed that bar, and now all of a sudden you're going to get to other people first. I'll get to you though. Oh, please do, sir. Please do. I am anxiously awaiting the days for you to come and sue me. I can think of nothing more enjoyable than that. Enjoy this time. I will actually enjoy it more when you have sued me. I will find that to be much more enjoyable. I'm in fact anxiously awaiting it. And then he's crossed out, make more videos about my comments, ha ha ha. I don't know why you crossed that out, but yeah, I'll make videos about your comments. You say stupid shit and people find it hilarious to listen to and read your comments. You get hate views, bro. I was watching Clash with Bao today, and he had a room full, a channel full of people that were just laughing their asses off at the stupid shit you say. You make videos about the comments I leave. Yes, I do. And people come listen. Yeah, it's hilarious. You are the clown, sir. You are the unwitting comedian. People don't laugh with you. They laugh at you. Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. That's how much of a leader I am and how much of a pathetic loser you are. You're right. I'm a pathetic loser. Yeah. Me with my silly little law degree and my silly little job as a lawyer, you know, making my, I think you said I made $100,000 a year, which is cute, you know. But I'm the loser. I'm the loser. You're the couch surfer, but I'm the loser. Then he goes on to this one. He says, look at this. This is on like this, the twist of the proverbial knife video. Good. So this was a 2-minute, 28-second video that is specifically says that I'm just making this out. I'm just making the video just to F with him. I literally say it in the video. Let's see if I have a transcript in here, if it actually picked it up, because the audio was terrible. I know. And if you think this video is just to get under Chillie DeCastro's skin, absolutely it is. Absolutely it is. And then what does he do? He leaves me a book. He writes a book. Do you think I got under his skin? Do you think my shitty little video worked with my 4.29K subscribers? I think it worked. You get views and comments if you talk about me. I do. You don't get that many without talking about me. Well, you know, I mean, I know my audience, and if I make a video about James Freeman, I could do pretty well. Sometimes other who's that? Luis Sanchez, I think his name was. I got a lot off him. Yeah, I make a lot of videos though where I just, like I said, I really don't care about subscriber counts or views. I make stupid videos that please me. I talk about the things that I want to talk about. And right now, what I want to talk about is you. You don't get many without talking about me. Okay. What's that like? Well, you know, it's actually not that bad. It's actually not that bad. I don't base my self-worth off of YouTube. I don't really care. I just don't care about YouTube that much. I find it to be a pleasant hobby. I like helping people by telling them how to interpret various laws and things like that. Why can't you make a video about education? All my videos are about education. All my videos are about education. When it asks me what I make the video about, I always put it's about education. Let's see if is it content. Does it say in here what kind of video it is? Like, let's see this one. Let's edit title and description. Somewhere in here, it has you pick the category of the video, and I always pick education. And why do you think I went through the trouble in a lot of the videos that I make? Not this video because I'm feeling lazy. Putting links to the various cases that I reference and the various statutes that I reference. Why do you think I do that? It's because I'm educating people. Why can't you make a video about your cases? Well, because there's that whole attorney-client confidentiality thing. You know, I am bound to keep their information private. It's California rules, professional conduct. Oh, come on. Be good. And it is in lawyer-client relationship rules. And it is confidential information of a client. I'm bound to keep my client's information confidential, which would include who they are and what they're doing. Now, you can figure out who I am and what I'm doing and find the cases that I'm on by going to various county websites and stuff. I mean, you could find me. I'm out there. But I don't make videos about my cases because I don't want to divulge my clients' confidential information. I don't want to give out any attorney work product. I can't claim work product privilege if I'm out there telling people about what's going on in my cases and what I'm doing. So that's why I don't make videos about my cases. And I don't really think that people would find, you know, a first-year family law attorney's case is very interesting. But it's profitable. Or your life. Because I like to keep my life private. Because you're not interesting. Okay, well, I mean, that's your take, but you're the one who's on my channel writing a paragraph to me. You wrote a like, that's big. That's huge, dude. You've had a YouTube account since December 2011. That's 11 years. Man, this guy's good with math. You are actually comparing us. Yeah, I am. I'm a big deal. I'm a big deal. I have seen videos or channels that show cat videos that have more subscribers than Delete Laws. There's a channel that I like. I listen to it while I'm working. It's this one right here. I love this channel. They've got all she does is play lo-fi hip hop radio. She's got 11.4 million subscribers. 11.4 million subscribers. You're not a big deal, Chillie. You are at best a medium-sized fish in a small pond. In fact, let's check you out here. You've got 46.3K subscribers. Let's do what's James Freeman's channel? It's like like Fake News Network, something like that. It's like Fake News Network. Freeman's got 400,000 subscribers. 400,000. You've got 48, 46, and he's got 400. I don't know, man. I don't know. Are you a big deal? Freeman gets 58K, 84K views. And what do you get? You're not a big deal, bro. You're not a big deal. You get views if you talk about me. Congratulations. What's that feel like? Hey, that's the second time you've asked me that. You repeat yourself a lot. What's that feel like? What's it like? Look at all your videos on your video page. Look, people pay attention to you if you talk about me. Congratulations. I can't stop people from coming to hear what I say. I can't stop people from coming to hear what I say. Yeah, you can. You can block them, I guess, or make your videos private. I can't even be under the radar. I don't know what that means. What's it like? I'll never know. You're one of those pathetic people that I'll not mention by name in my book. Oh no, I won't be in Chillie DeCastro's book. Whatever will I do? My whole life, the one thing that I wanted was to be in Chillie DeCastro's book. A nobody who amounted to nothing in life. Really, look at yourself. You're right. You're right. I amounted to nothing. I was never a Power Ranger. Oh wait, you weren't either. I know, I'll make videos about a newsmaker so that someone will pay attention to me. You can't even win the grifties, bro. Look at you. You're down to second place. Man, that's pathetic. I know, I'll make videos about a newspaper. Okay, here's your video. Chillie is bad, bad, bad. Now let me tell you where I went to school and about my life. Okay, all right. I didn't think that all of my videos were like that. Chillie is bad, bad, bad. Make fun of Chillie. Now let me tell you about myself. I got here using a real man. I don't know if you're a real man, Chillie. And now let me tell you about my beta life. I'm boring. I suck. My wife is ugly and I have no life, but you got here by me talking about another man. What a pathetic loser you are. Ha ha ha. You know, I know someone else who likes to talk about himself all the time. So if I were you, Chillie, I wouldn't actually, throw stones living in glass houses. You're not worth suing. I thought you were going to get to me. I thought you were going to get to me. Didn't he say previously that he was going to get to me? I'm kind of upset now. I'm kind of upset. He's a little bipolar, maybe. Was that defamation, Chillie? Did I just defame you? Yeah, like, he said he's not going to sue me, then he's going to sue me? I don't even know. I don't even know. You're a loser. It would just give you attention, and that's all you really want. Yeah, that's all I really want. Yep, you figured me out, Chillie. I'm an attention seeker. That's me. Boy, whew, nailed it. If I were I would, I'd walk. If I were, I would, I'd walk off and never come back. If I were I would, I'd walk off and never come back. Okay. You aren't anything in life. Okay. I have a house, Chillie. Do you have a house? I have a car. Do you have a car? You had a car. It got stolen. Do you have a car, Chillie? You might think my wife is ugly, but I have a wife. Do you have a wife, Chillie? You don't move the needle. Oh, unless you talk about me. Well, you know what, Chillie? If I walked into any courtroom that I am going to be in for the next year, and I said, hey, guys, you hear what Chillie DeCastro is doing lately? I would get blank looks. No one would know anything about you, Chillie. No one would have any idea who or what you are. No one. You are, at best, a medium-sized fish in a small pond. Which is obvious from looking. What a weasel you are. Just a snake. You're shit in the toilet when you open the lid and don't expect to see this corn-filled, water-soaked shit logs. That's you, Merb. Ha ha, ha ha ha, ha ha ha. Okay, I won't come back. I can send you some pictures of me if you want to jerk off. You're pathetic. I won't come back, he says. That's this one right here. I won't come back. And then he immediately came back. And then he came back yet again. He posted this guy's video, which, I mean, okay. Yeah. All right, so there's that. So, and then last thing I want to talk about, it was in this video right here. He said a lot of really nasty things about Kate, and I have questions for Chillie. So Chillie, if you ever have the time, to waste with such a beta male like me, I have some questions. You mock Kate for having a drug addiction or for having had a drug addiction, and yet you, if I'm not mistaken, were arrested, charged, and then given some sort of a pretrial deferment for the manufacture with the intent to sell of I think it was GHB, of some sort of a controlled substance, a drug. How do you reconcile you selling drugs and then mocking someone who was addicted to them? You also malign anybody who sides with, and I'm using huge air quotes around sides with, Kate Peters'. Now, I have found that in this community there are they're temporary alliances. And there are a lot of divergent beliefs, and if you say something that people don't like, instantly alliance broken. So, side with, I'm using that very, very loosely, probably more loosely than Chillie did. But you're accusing people of who basically share her opinion of you as somehow aligning themselves with someone who has a horrible criminal background. And yet you have you've gone out there and advocated for sending money to Deborah Rogers, who has a criminal history for drug use. I believe she was the DUI, the driving under the influence. I believe she was arrested for driving while on oxycodone. How do you reconcile that? You accuse Josh of, you mock him for living in his mom's basement. And yet he, if I'm not mistaken, allowed you to stay with him. You took advantage of his hospitality to stay with him in his mom's basement. You use, if I'm not mistaken, as your residence, your mom's house. I believe that this stuff, I believe that is your mom's house, not yours. So doesn't that mean that you essentially, when you do go to California, you live with your mom, and the rest of the time you're just couch surfing? Why can you make fun of Josh Abrams for doing something that you do, if not worse? You mock Josh Abrams for armed robbery. I seem to remember you being arrested and convicted of stealing, I think, what was it, jeans and a jacket in Oregon in like 96 or something? If him being an armed robber is bad, then what about you being a thief? What about that, Chillie? And you accuse Kate of being you called her a whore multiple times, just because you like to say whore, I guess. But you accuse her of grifting. Now, explain to me how she's grifting. We know that you're suing her. You've bragged about suing her. We know she's been served. You've bragged about serving her. She's now raising money literally for legal services to defend herself. She's being clear about what she's using it for. How is that grifting as opposed to holding yourself out to be a constitutional law expert who's been studying the Constitution for 20 years and who doesn't understand the First Amendment ramifications of an injunction, especially a preliminary injunction, that would take down her YouTube channel or make her pull down all her videos about you. You can't even grasp the basics of the First Amendment analysis of a injunction against future speech, but you have the audacity to call yourself a constitutional law scholar, and you raise money. You take money based on that, and you were charging for legal services, but you're not a grifter. You are charging for legal services that you have no idea what they are or what they do, but you're not a grifter. You've done nothing to aid any of the people who you've allegedly helped out in their lawsuits. Not a single one of them has won. Name one that's won. But you're not the grifter. She is. She's a grifter for taking donations on her show. You take donations on yours. She's a grifter for having a GoFundMe or whatever this is, Fundly. I don't know. Whatever it is. But you charge people, what was it, $25 for an indestructible trifold that has shitty case law on it? I don't know, man. I'd love to hear how you justify that. To me, it just seems like you're a hypocrite. And you have spent a great amount of detail going into Kate's and Josh's criminal histories. And your stated goal is to get rid of Terry v. Ohio. But you know what Terry v. Ohio does? It makes it easier to catch criminals. If we got rid of Terry v. Ohio, we'd have less criminals. Caught, I should say. Terry v. Ohio allows the cops to stop people for investigations and to frisk them if they have reasonable suspicion the person's armed. And what that does is it allows the cops to find people who have committed a crime or who are committing a crime easier. So you're making it easier for criminals to get away with things. I'm not saying you're wrong. In fact, I don't like Terry v. Ohio. So, I'm on board with getting rid of Terry v. Ohio. But if you're against criminals, then why are you trying to get rid of something that literally has the effect of making it easier to catch criminals? It doesn't make any sense. Anyway, I've rambled long enough. Thanks for watching. Have a great evening.